Shellye, one of the interesting things when we talk about these different industries is, it used to be everybody was in a defined industry and you kind of knew which industry you were in. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like those boundaries aren't being respected anymore. What's your experience in that regard?
I fully agree with you. If you look at companies in terms of how they're evolving, I mean, heck, I'm on the board of Verizon. Take Verizon. Verizon traditionally was mobile telecommunications, right? That's what they were. Well, today they own Oath. Today they are driving IoT. They're offering services like Hum to help people actually proactively maintain the maintenance of their vehicles and their cars. So is that a telecom company? You have companies that are basically, instead of focusing on what industry am I in and what can I do, they're now focused on what customers am I serving and what else can I do to serve those customers. And once you change to a customer orientation from an industry orientation, it actually completely messes up the traditional lines of definition from one industry to the next.
Look at the retail industry. Mm-hmm. The whole experience of interacting with retail has changed. How are you seeing digital transformation impact retail?
Digital transformation is actually giving retailers a lot more tools at their disposal. Buyer behavior in retail is fundamentally changing. So to get a buyer off their phone or computer at home and actually show up, right, in a store, et cetera, if you're a traditional retailer, you have to offer them something that they aren't getting, which is an experience. What we find in a lot of the research is consumers want a better experience. They want experience. Well, I can now use the capability, the fact that they are walking around with a phone, to help build experiences. I know who they are. For instance, when they enter my store, potentially, I can ensure that they've got special offers, special treatment. I can make sure that I follow and understand their patterns so that I can create these unique opportunities, right, for clients. I couldn't do that before I had all this digital information. Now I know, leverage technology, who they are, where they are, what their trend habits are, what they like, what they don't like, all of those things. Whereas before, as a retailer, roll the clock back 20 years, I had a set of product. I wanted to have the best product, have it look the best, be fresh a whole bit. And when people walked in, I would win when they picked something off the shelf. Well, now I need to win on a different scale. So for instance, Nordstrom. Nordstrom's strategy is all about one Nordstrom. It's not the store versus online versus being able to buy discount, right? It's all one Nordstrom. And I want to be able to optimize the experience my customers have no matter how they want to interact with Nordstrom.
Often there are multiple new ways to interact with customers, whether it be a watch or a voice app or an improvement to the mobile app. And any one of those alone is interesting, but you have to go look how in concert does it change that customer journey.
Absolutely.
And so you kind of think through, and is customer journey one of the things that you've used as you thought about digital transformation in terms of how can I change all these touch points that I currently have with the customer?
Absolutely. That's definitely one of the areas as well. But the other thing that I would add to this, Avery, is it's thinking about it holistically, but it's also making sure you give it enough time.
Okay.
Transformation, revolution, whatever you want to call, it takes time to truly see the ultimate value that you'll get from what's transpired, right? Okay. The telephone. Alexander Bell created the telephone in like 1876 or something, right? It took 30 to 40 years before just 5 or 6 million people had a telephone.
Yeah.
That's a long time. You say, what the heck were they doing all that time, right? You look at Uber. Uber is Uber because GPS, right? And because of smartphone.
Yep.
Well, GPS was invented in like 1995, and the first smartphone was actually not the iPhone in 2007. It was actually something called Simon that IBM developed, remember, back in the late 90s.
Yes, back in
late 90s to 2007, right, for iPhone. And, Uber's only been around for a few years. What the heck took us so long? It took us 20 years. It takes time. It takes time because you have new technology. You then have to innovate over that technology, and then you get value from those innovations.